But in bringing Jay up, I want to congratulate Commissioner Thomas. The MEAC, we are on the move, the MEAC, the MEAC. I remember back when we started in 1970. Isn't it great to be here and you on board when the conference started? And I want to congratulate, let's give a round of applause for our commissioner. Now I'm going to bring up a guy who played in the National Football League. He played at Howard. I coached at Howard. And those Howard guys, when I'd call a player at South Carolina State, he'd say, huh? I called one of the Howard boys. He said, I beg your pardon. I knew we weren't going to win many games. One of them had a low pain tolerance. He missed the whole season. He got hurt. He missed the whole season. He had chapped lips. But Jay Walker was not that way. He led Howard to an undefeated season. He also played in the National Football League. He's also a politician now. So let's welcome our co-MC, Jay Walker.
That wasn't in my contract. You don't have me follow Willie Jeffries, so I'm not giving you them jokes like that, like Willie did. How y'all doing, football fans? Come on now, how y'all doing, football fans? Good. Welcome to the 2018 MEAC Football Media Day. Always a pleasure being here. I want to thank Commissioner Thomas for having me here today and giving me the honor of emceeing this event. It's always good to be around here. And, you know, me doing this, I love it because this event every year, it gets me ready for the football season that's upcoming. See, don't read all the accolades and stuff like that. Deep down heart, I'm a football guy first. And sitting here and talking to these young men and that you'll get an opportunity to meet and the coaches, it's like got me ready to go. And the challenge is going to be for the coaches, I don't know how the 2018 season can be better than what we saw in 2017. Y'all remember what we saw in 2017? How many of y'all remember how the 2017 football season started in HBCU football? Come on now, everybody was proud. Y'all give me a hard time for supporting my alma mater, but all y'all were proud. Give a round of applause for Howard University knocking off UNLV in the biggest upset in the history of college football. How about giving a round of applause for North Carolina A&T going undefeated and also knocking off an FBS football team? How about another round of applause for North Carolina A&T and representing the MEAC Conference and winning their second Celebration Bowl title? MEAC football led all FCS conferences with not one but two NFL draft picks chosen in the second and third rounds respectively. Round of applause for that. That's what I'm talking about. And then also down in the trenches, getting it done on a weekly basis, our student athletes did a great job in representing us. And I will tell you, part of my biggest thrill in bringing the games to you all on behalf of ESPN is trying to take y'all behind the scenes in the locker room. So how many of y'all watch me do some games on TV? You can either round of applause, show and have. How do I do? I do all right representing y'all? I do all right representing y'all? I tell everybody I got to keep that job because the moment I slip up, they're going to have somebody from Hampton doing it. Oh, no, my fault. Not saying Hampton this time around. Catch on. I know what I said. But we'll have some fun. So sometime here, I got something I put together for you. We're going to do a Gimme 5. Y'all see my Gimme 5? So we'll have a little Gimme 5 throughout the day. We'll have a little interaction here with the different coaches and the people that brought us here today to do it. And we all know that as much as I love football and the coaches love football and the Commissioner Thomas brings us here together to talk about this, we're here for a reason. It's not to hear Jay Walker talk. It's to acknowledge and see some of the stars and faces of the next generation of representing the MEAC, the next generation, the Javon Hargraves, the Tariq Cohens, all those guys that are recent guys going to the NFL. So we've assembled some of the best student-athlete representatives we could find throughout the conference. Some of the names you'll know, and I will tell you right now, some of the names you're going to need to get to know because these are some fantastic athletes. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, me running my mouth on and on, y'all ready to get this party started? Y'all ready to get this party started? Well, let's introduce these young men that represent their universities while we're here. Representing Bethune-Cookman University, wide receiver, Kevon Mitchell, and cornerback, Elliott Miller. Representing the Hornets of Delaware State University, running back, Bryson Allen, and defensive back, Kewan Selby. Rattlers strike, they strike, and they strike again. Representing Florida A&M, Rattlers quarterback Ryan Stanley and linebacker Jabril Hazley. Y'all taking your time strolling out real slow over there, aren't y'all? Representing Howard University, quarterback Kalen Newton and defensive back Brian Cook. Did I keep that as neutral as I possibly could? Representing Morgan State University, wide receiver Minshaw Bailey and defensive end Malachi Washington. Bison, y'all just gonna walk by me like that? Bison, y'all just gonna walk by me like that? God, you didn't give me no love or nothing to somebody. Behold, the green and gold are in the house. Representing Norfolk State University, wide receiver Marcus Taylor and defensive lineman Deshaun Middleton. Hey. Hold on. Stop the music. Stop. Cut the music. Well, boy, what is that you got on your damn fetus there? What you want to say? Give me one word to describe that look right there. Is that on fleek, fleck, fire? It's the drip. It's the drip. Give it up, Norfolk State. Give me the music, bang. How you going to top that here in Norfolk State? If there's anybody that can do it, it's going to be who I got coming up to the stage next. Representing Aggie pride from North Carolina A&T, Lamar Raynard, quarterback, and defensive back Jamal Darden. Hold on, y'all going to do better than that. Them the MEAC champs, them 14-0. Give them respect for 14-0. One school that could care less about 14-0. Oh, they here today too, representing by running back Isaiah Todd and defensive back Devontae Edwards. These are the Eagles from North Carolina Central University. These are the Eagles from North Carolina Central University. That's going to be the line. I told y'all, one school could care less about A&T. It's Central for sure. Representing Savannah State Tigers in their official last season in the MEAC play, offensive lineman James Livingston and defensive lineman Stephen Banks. And up from Orangeburg, South Carolina, representing the Bulldogs of South Carolina State University, it's running back LeBron Morris and defensive lineman Paul McKeever. With that said, I'm going to ask all of our student-athlete representatives to stand up, and let's give them all a big MEAC round of applause. Hey, this is a good one here. I see North Carolina Central. Y'all in the house? Aggie Pride, y'all in the house? Aggie Pride in the house? Oh. Oh, DJ. Behold the green and gold. Y'all in the house? All right. America's favorite black college, Howard University. I'm in the house, so that's what I need. That being said, all the student athletes, help us out here a little bit. Y'all are all into that social media and the Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff. Now's a chance. We're going to ask you all throughout the day, throughout this presentation, take the selfies at your picture. Let everybody know what they're missing here. Take some selfies and hit us up and use the hashtag MEAC. And also use the hashtag MEACFB. That's MEACFB. With that being said, it's time for me to turn it over to the legend himself, my favorite guy. I always tell this story where when I played quarterback at Howard, South Carolina State had a defense. I mean, their defense was awesome, right? And they were going to hit you. You know, from a football perspective, like when I was going in to play South Carolina State, after I learned the first year, like that wasn't a defense you were going to go 25 for 29 for 350 yards and 2 touchdowns. I said, man, this is a game where I'm going to go like 11 or 30, but I'm going to gash them for like 4 touchdowns deep because they would bust the coverage in order to hit the quarterback. So getting ready for that game and going into that, Coach Jeffries tells his team, he says, boys, we know we got Skywalker and the Bison coming here and everything else, and I know I tell y'all all the time, the number one job is to hit the quarterback, hurt the quarterback, and if you got to put him out, you put him out. But for this time, I'm going to tell you a little bit different. I want you to hit the quarterback, and I want you to make him pay, but you can't put him out because that light-skinned dude is good for our conference. That being said, true story, head coach Willie Jeffries.
No, I never would allow them to hit Jay Walker. We would sack him, but we wouldn't let him hit. That young man from Norfolk State, wasn't he sharp? The guy that, yeah, he must play tennis because he had Arthur Ashe on his legs. he needed some lotion. All he needed was a little Jergens lotion or something. You know, Coach Buddy Pugh, my successor, we rode up together, and we were almost late because they caught one of Buddy's big tackles there in summer school, caught him copying off another boy's paper, and they had to call Buddy and me to straighten it out, and Buddy was upset and told the professor, prove it. Prove Big John was copying. The professor said, yes, I had 50 questions on the test, 2 for each correct answer. The smart young man made 98 and said, Big John was sitting by him. The smart young man wrote for number 10, I don't know, and Big John wrote, I don't either. So Coach Pugh tells his guys, never copy one person's work. That's plagiarism. Copy off of 8 or 10, that's research. You have a way to get through. Jay, I remember when you first got to Howard, and when I went there, I coached there 5 years, and I said, Howard, they were running me out. It's Howard. You know it's Howard. You don't go there saying Howard. But Jay, Coach Steve Wilson sent Jay into the game one night, said, go in there, Jay, and get ferocious. And Jay said, well, what's ferocious's number? Jay, that meant go in and, and do your number. Okay, I have to give this advice to the young coaches. We have 5 new coaches, and to those 5, welcome to the MEAC. Let's give them a round. You'll know who they are later. And they're great coaches. We just hope at South Carolina State they're not too great. Now, to those young coaches, my wife and I have been married 57 years, so I have to tell the young guys how we did it. And they need to take note. We go to dinner twice a week. dim lights, soft music, and good food. She goes on Tuesday, I go on Thursday. You don't go the same night. Yeah, you'll fall out if you go the same night. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, the month of December, you think of two things. You think of Christmas and the Celebration Bowl. And I must say that at North Carolina A&T, their applications are up 60%. Thanks for the Celebration Bowl and what it has done for our conference. So and the Aggies, North Carolina A&T State University, won the game for the MEAC 21-14 over Grambling State University. This year, we will be back in the billion-dollar Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. December 15th, okay, write it down, December 15th, the Celebration Bowl, and again, ABC will broadcast the game nationally. So we are so happy that we still have it, and it will be a sellout in a couple of years. I guarantee you that it was one of the top bowl games watched on television last year. Now, Dr. Dennis Thomas was one of the ones who worked tirelessly to get us into this game. And today we have, I don't think Pete Zergis is here today, is he? He's not in the room. He was here. But we have John Grant. John Grant, Executive Director of the Celebration Bowl. Please stand. Let's give him a round of applause. John, each team gets $1 million. The decimal point is far to the right. Okay. Don't move it to the left. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the stage Ms. Kendra Green, Associate Athletics Director for Compliance and the Senior Woman Administrator at Florida A&M University for the invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please bow your head so we can give thanks. Lord, you gave us bodies as well as our minds and hearts, with which we come to praise and worship you. Our sports are fitting use of the gifts and talents you have given us. Thank you for this fellowship we share and the food we are about to eat, for the friendship and the laughter and another chance to meet. Thank you for the seasons now past and for those that are soon to come. We give you thanks for our continued strength, endurance, safety, and courage. In your name we pray, amen. Please enjoy your lunch.
While you're enjoying your lunch, we will watch from clips from the Celebration Bowl, so enjoy your lunch and watch the video.
Celebration Bowl has been an exciting venture for ESPN events and certainly for the two conferences. I think when I look back at the original idea and how it was presented to both conferences and the level of enthusiasm and excitement to sit here a few years into it and to think where we are is pretty remarkable. It really is a tremendous showcase for HBCU football. We're excited about it.
Sandra Booker, and I am the Senior Woman Administrator and SWA at bethune-cookman University. And I'm proud to say that I'm so glad to see that this workshop for women in athletics is still going strong. Each year it's getting better and better with our speakers, with our numbers of student athletes, with SWAs from the conference and other conferences that are attending, and it's just been a phenomenal workshop. And it's all about developing the younger people in this atmosphere of college athletics.
My name is Brandon Parker from Norfolk INT. I play left tackle. This is obviously our second time being here at the Celebration Bowl. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a blessing to be here. We've all worked really hard. So, they do a good job of taking care of us this week, and we just come here ready to compete, ready to win a national championship.
I'm John Grant, Executive Director of the Celebration Bowl. We are so excited for the two teams that are going to be participating in this year's Celebration Bowl. This is a game of the ages. Two great champions will be meeting this coming Saturday to determine who will take home the national championship trophy to their conference. We can't wait.
I support this game. I support these conferences. I support these schools because I grew up with it. My mom went to Hampton. When I started at Old Dominion, we didn't have a football team. Norfolk State used our field, so every Saturday afternoon I used to behold the green and gold. It just became a part of me. Pomp and circumstance, the pageantry, the history, the everything. And, seeing folks who look like me doing what they did, that was a plus. So that's why I support this event. Doesn't matter which school is in it. I meant it when I said we're a family, and that's why I'm here. That's why I do it.
Sir. A nice Nike duffel bag, and it's stuffed with some MEAC goodies. So we're going to allow you to draw the number. Okay.
Might be mine.
Ticket number 9936740. Do we have a winner? Come on. Let's give him some love. Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, he said gigantic, so I do believe this is gigantic because it is in support of our 2019 MEAC basketball tournament. So we are giving away 2 ticket books and 2 VI passes to the tournament. And we're going to give away 2 sets of those. So, put it in. All right. And the lucky person is ticket number 9936528. I know you have to be in here. 993-6528. Check your tickets. All right, we're going. Here we go. Here. All right. Awesome. Give him some love, you guys. Give him some love. And we have one more, same prize. Okay. The last one we're going to bless is 993-6674. Where are you? 993-6674. All right, we have a time limit here. Going once, going twice. Good. Oh, here's. Okay, it's hard to see with the light. Okay, awesome. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good luncheon.
Thank you, Ms. Easley. We have a, okay, now, if I hum it, you can play it, but you know, sometimes you're supposed to cease, but you are paying attention. Thank you. We have a video for your viewing now, and let's crank up the video, one that you will certainly enjoy, that we wanted you to see today, and then we will proceed with the program after that. Have your desserts. What a great meal. The chicken was very tender. That chicken never walked up a hill. Walked on level ground. And ladies, eat all of the cake you want. It was cooked on low-fat heat. Roll the video.
Sound Machine and Marching Storm will be grooving all day long. The 2018 MEAC SWAC Challenge coming to Atlanta this September. The HBCU football season kicks off in Atlanta with the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Join the party this Labor Day weekend as the MEAC's North Carolina Central Eagles battle the SWAC's Prairie View A&M Panthers for conference bragging rights. Kickoff is set for noon Eastern on Sunday, September 2nd at Georgia State Stadium. And the bands, both the Sound Machine and Marching Storm, will be grooving all day long. The 2018 MEAC SWAC Challenge coming to Atlanta this September.
No problem. Hey, what'd you forget this time, man?
You know,
You're getting a little bit more of a veteran, man. You forgot something?
yeah.
I got you,
What
man.
did I tell you about your memory?
It's gonna go sooner or later.
Yeah. It's the second thing to go. Don't worry about the first. Okay, Jay and I certainly enjoy doing this every year, but we have some special people, and then I'll be out of your way. First of all, we have it's a gentleman I would like to recognize, and always put that K in recognize. Don't say recognize. Put two C's. It's a K in there. We'd like to recognize first Mr. Matthew Sign with the National Football Foundation. Stand up, Matthew. We'd like to give you a hand. And what this and if you all only know what this gentleman did in lieu of the lower schools going to Notre Dame and being enshrined, Matthew saw to it that they all go to New York to the Waldorf, and he's a graduate of Rice University, and he takes everyone to the same place, whether you coach at Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina A&T, or South Carolina State. They all go, and thank you so much, Matthew, for doing that. Next, we have Ms. Alicia Butler from Coca-Cola, the managing marketing lady. Stand up. For colleges and universities. A college can be a university. Just put one more book in the library, then you're a university. Okay, Mr. Mike Pulley, representing the owner of Dan Bannister Automobiles. Thank you, sir. Mike, I had an call. I turned the starter and it would say I know you got new cars. Details on Granby, our friend Fernando Tucker, the owner. Stand up. Look how sharp he is. Every year he helps us. Well, you're clean as Clorox. You look good. Okay, from Fest Events, Ted Brudy, president. Stand up, Ted. He's not present, but we thank him. Hampton Roads Transit, and I get to introduce my friend. I'm going to call her first. Miss Kimberly Lovett, Mr. Alonzo Crittington, and Crescentia Thomas. You all, let's give them a round of applause with the transit. Miss Lovett's dad and I her daddy was Walter Lovett, and we were coaching in the old days when you drew the plays in the dirt. You didn't have any paper. From Hart Media, Angel Brown, marketing president. Will you please stand? I got it right. Angel, I thought you were going to be an angel, right? Priority Automotive, Mr. James Church, but they are represented today by the two gentlemen who come all the time, Mr. Vince Seymour and Mr. Mike Russell. Let's give them a round of applause. Town Bank, and before I read Town Bank, Jay saved his money when he played in the NFL, so, he saved a bunch of it. He wrote a check so big the bank bounced. So from that bank, we have Mr. Tom Hasty Sr., Ms. Yvonne Altman. Will you all please stand? We appreciate it. Jay, I want you to write me a check. I don't want it to be like U.S. Royal or Goodyear, bounce with rubber in it. Okay, now, we've had lunch, and we have the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. The MEAC is a team. We are a team. The commissioner, he cannot do it alone. We are a team. You can pitch a no-hit game, but it's just another loss if the errors of your teammates put opponents' runs across. You might be a brilliant runner, pass and kick with easy grace, but you miss the winning touchdown if just one teammate is out of place. So in the sporting world of business, in the MEAC or a mill, nothing can produce a winner like a little teamwork will. Now I'm going to introduce our team members, and first of all, let's go for our sports information directors. Will you stand if you're here? SIDs, very important. Thank you, because they certainly deserve it. Not athletic director, but our athletics directors, will you please stand? Our ADs. And don't ever think Commissioner Thomas and those are using the wrong word. The title is Senior Woman Administrator. That's the way it is correct. Senior Woman Administrators, will you please stand? And the people at the NCAA that they call, if you mess up and you got an ineligible player, they have to take it through to the president and the athletics director. Our faculty athletic representatives, will you please stand? Okay, are you ready, Jay? I think so. Okay, if I miss something, I'll come back up, okay? Okay, Let's welcome him back, and while he's on the way back, Buddy Pugh, we just bought 100 dictionaries for our football players at South Carolina State, and the reason I bought the 100 dictionaries, one of the big tackles took one of the semi-beautiful cheerleaders down behind the funeral home the other night and declared his intentions for the night. So the reason I bought the dictionaries, he didn't know that this young lady, elementary, middle school, high school, South Carolina State, she had never made a B in her life. She straight A, 4.0 perfect. And she told him in response to what he had asked for, she said, I'm afraid that my awareness of your proclivity for the esoteric aspects of sexual behavior precludes you from any such erotic confrontation. He said, I don't get it. She said, that's what I just told you. Thank you.
Coach Jeffries. Coach Jeffries, everybody. Willie Jeffries, Willie Jeffries, Willie Jeffries. Willie Jeffries. Give the legend a round of applause. That's we're getting to the point here where we're going to talk some football. We'd like to keep it loose and keep it going here. We'll lay down the ground rules like we always do. The coaches will come out. Coach Jeffries, the Hall of Fame coach, we're going to do our same position we've always done. Once you start giving me too much football talk, what are we going to do? We're going to throw the flag. We're going to throw the flag, and you're going to come up with a better answer. We'll do that. But I told you all a couple things. I want to acknowledge Mr. Sine from the College Football Hall of Fame. Those of us in this room and throughout the country, we got some work we got to do. It's not MEAC related. I'm going off script a little bit, but we absolutely must do everything we can to make sure that Steve Aaron McNair gets into the College Football Hall of Fame, right? So we're going to support Steve. Nobody did it better in that conference. And should be a College Football Hall of Famer. First time he's on the ballot, so we're going to see that go through. Also want to talk about the Celebration Bowl, and we know about that with the importance. North Carolina Central, I know y'all went there, but isn't that experience worth going even if your team's not in the Celebration Bowl? Everybody knows that. A&T knows that. So if your team's not there, you still want to support the game and go down there because this is the #1 showcase game. 3 million people saw that game on television last year. And around the city of Atlanta, there are a number of events that we like to do. I even host my own cigar social down there. So if you're there, come on out, support the Celebration Bowl, and let's not forget about the MEAC SWAC Challenge. MEAC SWAC Challenge, we'll get it all started down there in Atlanta. And with that being said, I want to give y'all one of my little gimme five. How many of y'all seen my gimme fives before? Y'all seen the gimme fives? We're going to do a little gimme five action here. So I did a little gimme five. If we can, Ryan, get it going. A little gimme five for this event here, talking about the 5 things you must know about the MEAC. 5 things you must know about the MEAC. So right there, let's take a look at it. Number 5, we got Hollywood star power. You got Taraji Henson. You know, you've got all these folks. You got Will Parker from down there in Florida A&M. So down there. The MEAC, homecoming. We do homecoming. We do homecoming. Every school does homecoming. Some of them, you know, Howard University, world's most famous homecoming. We know that. And then we've got beauty queen. And then we got beauty queens, right? So we got beauty queens. I mean, Howard's got 2 Miss Americas. South Carolina State, they just got one right now. Reigning Mrs. USA is from South Carolina State. You got that. It's the home of the Mecca. It's the home of the Mecca. That's at Howard University Mecca. You know about that. And then on the bubble, you got Diddy. He's a MEAC guy. Howard guy. You got Jay Walker, Howard guy. And then number 1, I think you need to know this one. Number 1, you need to know this one. What we've always known, y'all are finally knowing that you can't trust Hampton University. So now I said, you know, we know. All right. Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Whoa, Ryan. Like, that's the one. That's the Howard. I know we already know that's not the one I got. I put the Howard one on there. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Let's get the real MEAC football one. There we go. Top 5 things you need to know about MEAC football. This is more like it. This will make y'all happy, right? But y'all like how Howard is in MEAC. But number 5, you got 5 new coaches. Oh, that there is a typo, so let's get this right. We made a mistake. There are 5 new coaches in the MEAC. Hopefully, we keep that number 5, but that's what it is. But the style of play, we're physical. Difference between the MEAC and the SWAC, I tell everybody, it's down in the trenches, baby. Down in the trenches, physical band of play. 5 new head coaches here. Right now, they're real shiny. Buddy Pugh, remember when you was that nice new shiny coach? Think you're going to come in here and out-coach everybody? then we do the best homecomings. Can we agree on that one? We do the best homecoming. The SWAC is a tailgate conference. You know what I'm talking about, Dr. Thomas. They tailgate like crazy down there. But from top to bottom, we are a homecoming conference. Atlanta or bust, right? We know what that means. College football season is going to start in Atlanta with the MEAC SWAC Challenge, and hopefully for one of these teams in here, it's going to end in Atlanta with the Celebration Bowl. And then I call like it is, Aggie Pride. You can't talk about MEAC football without talking about Aggie Pride. And I will say this, it goes beyond football. And this is coming from a Howard guy. North Carolina A&T is the hottest HBCU in the country. I get paid call like I see it. They're rolling right now. They are rolling right now, enrollment, and they're also the largest thing. And then let's talk about the players. I'm always a football guy, so you got to talk about Lamar Raynard, quarterback for North Carolina A&T, Kalen Newton. Those are some of the stars that you'll be hearing about this upcoming football season. And with that said, that's my Gimme 5 there. If y'all don't agree with me, tell me what you got there. Go ahead and hit me at Jay Walker Sky. We'll talk about it. But the Gimme 5s we're going to do this year, we're going to go behind the scenes a little bit more and talk about some of the things. Give you an example, like if we're talking about doing a game with Florida A&M, the Gimme 5, we'll talk about the players, but I think it's my job to talk about Florida A&M's got one of the top pharmaceutical schools in the country, top 5. So we're going to go behind the scenes. So if there are ideas and thoughts like that I need to know that we present to America in our Gimme 5 list, let's do it. That being said, y'all ready for some football? Y'all ready for some football? The football coaches, come on. Who wants to take this hot seat first? Who wants to get grilled first? Come on up, man. My good friend, head coach of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Round of applause for Terry Sims. Coach Sims, is your band better than FAMU's band? No. Don't answer that. Always, like we said, we'll sit there, give you some questions there. Coach Jeffries, give me the whistle. We'll give you the whistle, and we'll get this going. I think about Bethune-Cookman football. Bethune-Cookman football, as we talked about before, when y'all had that run of success, y'all were just quite frankly beating up everybody. Most physical team out there. Y'all had that mentality. You're gonna come punch them in the face, go out there and see if they can take their blow. Now, lately, y'all been getting punched in the face a little bit. So what do you got to do to get back to punching people in the face?
I don't know if I say we've been getting punched in the face, but, it's a lot of parity in the conference now. Yeah. We came out, we were the new kids on the block, and, nobody knew what to expect. We have 5 new coaches in the conference now, and everybody got to kind of figure out, what they're going to do. But, to answer your question, we just have to make sure we maintain our focus and finish football games. And I think we'll be fine.
So the physical nature that you had there, I remember there was a time where once y'all walked into the stadium, people were intimidated to go against them red jackets and them helmets that you had there. Maroon, exactly. My bad, call like this. My bad. So that when y'all came in there, and that was worth a couple points, a couple turnovers and everything else. How close are y'all to returning to that level of play?
I think you'll see a physical football team in all 3 phases when you watch the Wildcats this year. That's our message going into camp.
And then what's your record versus Florida A&M the past 7 years?
You said it.
You haven't lost to them in 7 years. How do you keep
7-0.
that? How do you keep that type of dominance over your in-state opponents you got there?
We just have to continue to play football. Right now I'm not concerned about Florida A&M. We have a lot of football games to play before we get to them.
Stop.
Yeah, that's football talk.
That's football talk there. I'm not concerned about Florida A&M. It's only a game that'll get you hired and get you fired. But you're not concerned about it. And then when we talked about it, I'll tell you how I had to really stop, because the moment I did my interview outside with Willie Simmons, the FAMU coach, he was sitting there watching, listening to every word, but you don't care about FAMU. You don't care.
Hey, he's a friend.
What the coach from Delaware State say? You weren't watching me talk to him. What the coach was sitting was saying.
I was interviewing when you talked to him.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
Tell the fans out there a reason why they should tune into Bethune-Cookman football and why y'all can compete for a MEAC championship.
Well, first of all, we're going to put an exciting brand of football on the field.
Man, get that towel ready, Coach Jeffries.
No. We have a lot of exciting players. I have 2 guys I brought with me. Both of those guys have been starting since their freshman year, and they're going to lead our football team. And I think we have some new additions that joined us in January that will be names to be reckoned with around the conference.
Gotcha. And with that being said, lastly, before I let you go, he flagged. Oh, you didn't give me no answer.
Coach
Tell us
Jeff.
another reason why we should watch Bethune-Cookman football. See, I thought it wasn't just me. You gave me the go around. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, why you watch Bethune-Cookman? Because Bethune-Cookman's going to come out there, and every play we're going to be more aggressive than you.
We're going to punch somebody in the
mouth.
mouth.
And we're going to run that little speed. We're going to punch you in the mouth. Thank you,
that's
man.
what
Get
you
back
want.
to fighting, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
That's
right.
what you want. Now, who's the guy that's going to punch somebody in the mouth for you?
Devin James.
Devin James. All right, y'all heard it here. Listen out for Devin James, and he may not say it, but we'll be watching, particularly that last weekend in November when y'all take on Florida A&M. Give it up for head coach Terry Sims. Always. We said there were 5 new coaches joining the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and only one mattered, all right. But of the 5, they all matter. We're going to welcome it. This is one of the new coaches to the Mid-Eastern Athletic Football Conference. Round of applause, Delaware State head coach Rod Milstead. For those of y'all that don't know, this is kind of some of the good things you like about it. Rod Milstead is the head coach of Delaware State. Rod Milstead played football in the National Football League, San Francisco 49, some other teams like that. But more importantly, Rod Milstead is a graduate of Delaware State University. Coaching your alma mater. Welcome home, Coach. Welcome home. This is one of those questions that people want to know just outside looking in. What would make you want to, what was it like for you to watch the struggles of Delaware State as an alumnus?
It was tough. It was tough knowing that when I left Delaware State as a player, I left there with 4 MEAC championships on the board.
Delaware State won 4 MEAC championships?
87, 88, 89, and 91.
The one they gave him.
However we got it, we got it.
Man, that's like, man, I'm thinking about Delaware State. Wow. Yeah, I remember y'all were good, but I didn't know y'all were that good.
We were very, very good.
Okay, so then what do you do to get back there?
We got to go back to tradition. What started us, what got us to that point back in the 80s. Go back to working hard, preparing, and doing it in the classroom, on the field, and in the community.
I want to ask, can some of y'all kids that don't go to Delaware State, the student athletes there, can y'all even imagine Delaware State winning 4 MEAC titles? It ain't that funny, man.
Well, numbers don't lie. People do.
Numbers don't lie. People do, and that is true. And I remember when I played in the conference, one thing that I thought Delaware State was one of the toughest road trips you had to make because, one, you got some built-in advantages. One, no matter where you come from, you're getting on a long bus. Right, like you can fly into Philly, or you're going to be a long bus ride.
Yes.
You're going to come there. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. You're going to have stuff going on at the raceway around there. That's like a natural built-in home field advantage that you have. And when the football team was hitting you, it made it that much more intimidating.
Yes.
Now I go to Delaware State. I see horses going around there with your equestrian team y'all got and everything, which is special. What do you do to get back to having that natural home field advantage?
We got to win football games. You can't have home field advantage if you're not winning. So that's the first thing we got to do, change the mindset of our young people and get them used to winning. We've been down for so long, coming in as a new staff, we got to teach our kids how to win. And that's going to be our focal point this year, to get better every single week.
Go into the details. How do you teach a kid how to win? That's that coach talk. Oh, we got to teach them how to win. How do you teach a kid how to win?
It starts with preparation. In the weight room, this whole off season, we've had a majority of our kids were in summer school and going through that program, and we had to teach them how to lift. A lot of times we assume that kids know exactly what you want them to do. And we had to go back to basics and teach them how we want it to be done. There was a different group of guys there this time last year that were the leader of that institution. Now you bring a whole new coaching staff, a whole new culture. Got to teach them how to do the things you want them to do it the way you want it done.
So what are you going to bring to the table? How do you think you've played through in the conference? Now you got a coach in the conference. What are you expecting for this upcoming football season going through MEAC conference play?
Coach, our expectations are just to get better. Be a better football program than 3-30. That's what's been happening the last 3 years. And our kids understand that. We're not coming in here saying we're going to beat everybody in the MEAC. Okay, that's our goal, of course. You want to win every football game. But you got to start with that first game and continue to build.
I got you. And last question for I know Coach Jeffrey. He didn't tell us nothing. But no, they're going to work hard, and they're going to try and win every football game. That's like every coach in America. We're going to start out trying to win
That's
every
right.
football game.
That's right.
Sorry, we're not get you out your comfort zone. We'll take it easy on the first time around. But what's it been like for you, the experience? Since you've come back to your alma mater, you've taken over as a head coach. What's it been like? Has it been what you thought it would be?
It's probably more. It has exceeded my expectations. Coming back home has been a dream job for me. So being able to be in Dover again, it kind of feels like I'm going back into the early '80s, late '80s when I was there, and being able to reboot an organization that I love so much. So I'm having a great time, and every day is a dream to me.
And right now you're undefeated, so.
That's right. That's right.
Winless, but you're also undefeated. Enjoy it while it lasts. Coach Rod Milstead, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Fantastic.
Man, Coach Jeffries, it's real easy to feel good when you're undefeated, right? You ain't played a game. That's what I say about my job working in the TV booth up there at ESPN. They say, I said, I can talk all the trash I want to. I'm undefeated. I'm also winless, but I'm undefeated. So with that being said, we'll keep it going. And let's bring the head coach from Savannah State University, Eric Rayburn, in here. Coach Rayburn. Man, like I said when I was out there, I'm just getting to know you, and then Savannah State is making a move, a program I thought was trending in the right direction, moving up. I think the question we got to talk about first is, what's your message to your players going into this 2018 season, which is going to be their final campaign in the MEAC?
Yeah, we were all disappointed with the news that we're going to leave the MEAC. I think it's a great conference. Chance to compete and play in the Celebration Bowl is opportunity that only one other conference in the FCS has. So it's disappointing, but we try to stay positive and tell them, basically our message to them was, this is our last chance to, for them to prove that they can play at the MEAC level.
Yeah, and a team, I think when you first took over the job, they wouldn't win a conference game, and then y'all won one conference game, and then you started winning multiple conference games, playing that spoiler role. Y'all kind of spoiled some season for some people down there. Is that kind of the mindset going into it this upcoming year? Not only you're going to not lay down, you're going to go after there and actually try and get this title for the championship?
Yeah, I hope so. I think obviously when I got the job there, football program was in bad shape, but I feel like we're not anywhere near where we were when we started. We made a ton of progress and on the field and in the classroom, and I'm proud of the effort that our guys have given, and I think the culture around our football program has changed, and we've improved each year. Now we got to take that next step to not just be competitive, but find a way to win those games.
And I think what people want to know out there is, what's it take to win at Savannah State? I mean, is Savannah State a place where you can win and contend for a title on an annual basis, or is this going to be a school where when they're going, every 4 years they show up?
Yeah, I think that was the reason I originally took the jobs. I felt like it is a place where you could have great success in football. The high school football in our area is incredible. We're real close to Florida and South Carolina, and then all the great high school football players in Georgia. So I think Savannah State can be, if they have the support, I think Savannah State can be as good as anybody.
Give me a name to watch or somebody on your roster that the MEAC needs to be aware of.
Stephen Banks, he's proved himself the last 2 years. He's a dynamic defensive lineman for us, definitely the leader of our team. Credible work ethic. We've talked before, the way, if you watched him in practice, you would understand why he plays so well in the games. But he's our best player for sure, and hopefully he'll have another great season this year.
Well, I know it hasn't been an easy situation to deal. That was a flag. I thought he was all right, Coach. You get a little flag happy there. Have you seen Big Stephen? He's here. Stephen, where you at, man? That's a big boy there. If he wants to talk about that player, he can talk about it. But that's where he goes. And like I said, just getting to know you, and hopefully we'll see you down the road. Appreciate the work that you've done. Best of luck to you in future endeavors. Give a round of applause for Eric Rayburn, head coach, Savannah State. Up to the stage next, another one of the newcomers, the new head coach. Welcome him in the MEAC, y'all. The new head coach for the Morgan State Bears, Ernest Jones. Coach Jones. Man. Coach Jones, you played at Alcorn. You coached at some places, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, all the other stuff there. What you know about the MEAC?
I think MEAC is one of the toughest conferences out there. I think you got great coaching in the MEAC. Sitting around a table with some very talented men over there. It's attractive to me as a coach, and the conference is filled with really, really good football players. Some of the most talented guys in the country are sitting over there at that table.
Now, one of the things I know, we covered your game last year, you all versus South Carolina State, and you talk about a defense. It was like that old defense Coach Jeffers used to run, zero coverage, hit the quarterback, nobody in the middle of the field. That was an aggressive mindset, and you had some success with it, but it seemed like the offense would get in the way. How do you get the offense to catch up to your defensive aggressiveness?
Yeah, well, it starts first with being a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day at Morgan State University, so we're not thinking about what happened a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. What you'll see, it will be physical, we'll be aggressive, and we'll be violent. But we're going to attack people, and we're not going to be afraid to lose. We're not going to be afraid to get beat. We're going to line up and do what you see is what you get. We're not trying to fool anybody. We're just going to line up and play football.
I got you. What did I miss? Oh, everything. Whoa. He kept it going. You got the crowd throwing the flags on you, man. They got the crowd throwing the flags. Thank y'all for doing my job. The flags going up all in the back. That's a warning to y'all coaches now. We let them keep going through it. So the football portion of it, that sounds great. You want to get that. But last year, your defense would do great. I particularly remember that South Carolina State game, and your offense got in the way. I think you threw a pick six, something when you're driving in there and stuff like that. Do you have to just play steady defense and tell your offense to get out the way, or do you have the playmakers there on the roster that can be a threat to compete offensively in this conference?
We think we have the playmakers that can compete. But again, we're going to run the football, so it's not going to be any secrets at what we're trying to do. We're going to have offensive linemen that can block and running backs that can run and wide receivers that can block.
I wouldn't be doing the fans a service if I didn't ask this question, something I know, and I'm going to let you share it. So at Morgan State, who's going to be your offensive coordinator, who's going to be your defensive coordinator?
You had to ask me that question. We're going to have a co-defensive coordinator on defense and co-offensive coordinator on offense. But on game day, I'm going to make the call on both offense and defense.
And what made you decide to put it all on you? You're going all in. You're putting it on you. So you're going to be the co-offensive coordinator, co-defensive coordinator. What brought that about?
Because I know what I want to do. I believe play calling is a field. It's a matter of you understanding what the other team is trying to do. I installed the offense. I installed the defense. I know what I'm looking for. I know what the mindset we want to present to other people, and I want to make that call.
Best of luck to you, brother, man. Head coach, Morgan State University, Ernest Jones. Let's keep it going right now. Hello. Rattlers strike, and they strike again. Their new head football coach, Willie Simmons. Willie, come join me on the stage. Give him a round of applause.
How you doing, brother?
Quarterback, what's going on?
Hey, I followed up Ernest Jones calling offense and defense. That's a bad.
I'm saying, what you gonna do? You just want to call plays, man.
I'm gonna call the offense by, so that's it.
Call your athletic director, make you take a pay cut if he gonna do both. First question, I'm sure everybody wants to know out there. You came from Alcorn State, where you actually all ran through the SWAC pretty good, had a good run there. You got the head job at Prairie View A&M. Prairie View was like this, just couldn't get over the Grambling hump. You leave Prairie View to go to Florida A&M. Why?
Why not? FAMU is one of the richest programs.
I heard one of the coaches over there say money, y'all. It's football business.
My wife does like shopping. So. But no, you're talking about one of the most storied programs in the history of college football at our level. So the opportunity to go to a place and try to be the next Jake Gaither, Rudy Hubbard, who won the only HBCU national championship at the 1AA level, or Billy Joe, who brought the Rack Boys to Tallahassee. So to have your name mentioned with those guys was something that was too good to pass up. And then growing up 20 minutes from there and being able to be there with my family every day didn't hurt the decision either.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You made a word. When you were at Prairie, if you're having success, one of the things he said, I love it here. Only place is, he said, home is home. And you're from that area, 20 minutes. So when the opportunity came for you, the dream job, you took it. Now with that, because you've been an offensive coordinator and you put up points everywhere you've gone, them folks in Tallahassee, they still miss them Rack Boys. They miss them Billy Joe numbers. You going to be able to produce like that?
We hope so. Again, at the end of the day, I grew up watching Billy Joe's offense. I actually tried to be a part of it. I tried to transfer there my senior year, and of course, due to FAMU trying to transition to 1A, I was deemed ineligible and had to transfer somewhere else. But again, that's something that I've always taken pride in. I played quarterback in college. I worked under some of the top offensive minds in the country. And again, we love to score points in Tallahassee. So, we have a tall charge to replicate the numbers that Billy Joe put up. And, we're going to start with that guy behind me, Ryan Stanley.
Ryan Stanley, there, your quarterback. Ryan, good to see you here. What was the talent, when you go through a coaching change? Alex Wood was a pro-style guy. He wanted to develop pro quarterback under center line, run it, the tackles. And now what's your philosophy going to be? Do you have the talent to make that adjustment, or is there still some more talent you got to add to the puzzle to put that speed that we're so used to seeing in Florida?
Well, obviously we're in a talent-rich state. Florida. Again, I'm biased. I grew up there, but I think it's the best state in the country as far as high school football. You can find speed on any corner, and so we won't be short on putting fast players on the field. Our offense is based on getting athletes in space, and again, we have a recruit base that's second to none. The state of Florida, Atlanta's 4 hours away, New Orleans 5 hours away, and so we can find speed. Our challenge will be to find the tough guys, the big guys, to be able to battle the physical nature that the MEAC presents. And I think we have a group of guys that's excited about that opportunity, and we'll see how we do this fall.
All right. Well, my next one.
Coach Jeff, you threw a flag on me? A couple times. So they say they throw a lot of flags in the MEAC, so I'm used to it. I got to get used to it.
They're all justifiable flags, I know.
They're on the right call. They're the right call, but the other coaches over there say they throw a lot of flags over there, so I got to.
I know you're not talking. I did that.
It was Terry Sims that said it. The commissioner, it was Terry Sims that said it, too.
That was my next question. I was going to say, you know who Terry Sims is, right?
Yeah, he ran off after he left.
So Terry Sims, head coach for Bethune-Cookman. So you know what my question is going to be. I'm going to let you ask yourself your own question. What's it going to take for y'all to beat Bethune-Cookman?
Okay, so what's the record? What's the streak now?
7. How many times has they been 7 in a row? 7 years in a row, y'all haven't won it since 2010.
You know what my college number was?
Yeah, you were number 7, weren't you?
You know what they say about 7 also? The number completion.
Okay.
So 7 has a lot of significance, but we know it's at hand.
So you're going to take that -7 and turn it into a +7. I got you. What Mike Tyson used to say, everybody got a game plan in the fight till they get punched in the mouth.
So.
We'll see if it works. Give it up for Willie Simmons, head coach, Florida A&M.
Thank you, brother.
All righty, now it's time to bring in the head coach. Y'all know him. Head coach Buddy Pugh, South Carolina State University. My first question, it's going to be an open question. It's going to be, I've been seeing what you know. Coach Pugh, for many of y'all know this, he's the elder statesman of the MEAC coaches. How many years you been coaching down South Carolina State?
A lot. 16, I think this is 17 coming up.
16, 17 years. What do you tell those 5 new coaches here that are coming in the conference play? What advice would you give them, and what would you tell them to look out for?
Don't hang around for 16 years.
I got you. I get what you're saying. Buddy Pugh, South Carolina State. I think about it. I think the transition from Coach Jeffries to you was smooth. A lot of it was a smooth transition because you kept that physical nature of play. Y'all kept beating up on people down there in Orangeburg, one of the toughest trips in the conference. You lost Javon Hargrave a couple years ago. It seemed like that really took y'all down a whole lot more. What do you do to get back? Because in Orangeburg, it all starts with the defense. What do you do to get that defense back to that championship level?
Well, defense is mostly knowing what to do and playing hard. And we've tried our best to get our guys back to the place where they just simply do the very best they can every snap. It's like anything that you're trying to approach that way, you go one bite at a time, one step at a time. So we need our guys to continue to just work hard and try to win a football game right now. We hadn't won a game in a while now. It's been, I guess, back before Savannah State last year. So we just need our guys to just work hard and try to see if they can do the very best they can every snap.
Is it true that you let Coach Jeffries call plays?
Well, we got to the point last year on offense that I was wondering who was calling the plays. It was not very pretty. And, we need to play a lot better. We need now to play a lot better at the quarterback position. But, it's hard for a quarterback to play well when he's on his fanny half the time. So we got to figure out how to play better in front of him. We got more work to do than anybody, could possibly ever imagine. So, our guys have worked really hard during the offseason. I'm excited about what we've tried to do to get ourselves back to, maybe later on in this process. I'm maybe fourth or fifth guy, that's come up on the stage coaching-wise. I do realize that y'all generally bring these guys up in the order of the predicted finish. So right now, I think
we haven't even talked about that yet, Coach. Man, what are you doing? Stay in your lane, man. Stay in your lane, man.
They came to get me a little earlier than I had anticipated. I thought I was gonna still be sitting down there for a couple minutes.
Let me ask you this, Coach. What do you see? Because of your tenure here in the conference, when you look at MEAC football today compared to where it was when you first got in the conference, what have been some of the changes that you've seen?
It's been an amazing run. I've seen so many universities see the real value in what you got to do to be good in football. They've seen the value in what good football can do for a university that way, and they invest in it that way. You can't get much out of the sport if you don't put the right things into the sport. So you got an opportunity to go out and compete. The A&Ts and the Centrals of the world, I'm sure Bethune-Cookman and some more, those guys have shown themselves to be legitimate, top-notch college football programs, and it's been mostly because their university have designed it to be so. So now we're looking at a situation here now where, I think our league as a whole has seen the benefits of wanting to be in the Celebration Bowl and those kinds of circumstances. So they all want to try to get a little piece of that bite. And, I guarantee you we do at South Carolina State also. So we're on about the task now, trying to get back up the totem pole a little bit so that we can actually compete with these guys. A&T and Central, guys, we need to be trying to emulate those guys. And that's a strange kind of sensation for a South Carolina State guy to be sitting right here right now saying.
Yep. Can you do it? Ultimately, do you have, you've been
I
around.
think we
do you have
can.
the talent to do it?
I think we got to play hard and have some fortune. Let me tell you what, A&T got to where they got to because I gave it to them. It was one of them situations. If anybody was at South Carolina,
you went for a fake punt.
You damn right
y'all
I did.
had the lead late in the game. Yeah, you did. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
And it's been downhill ever since.
That is
so
true.
I can tell you that I still, really feel that day that happened.
No, please
I didn't go for a
Please
fake punt.
tell
but
me
we
you didn't call the fake punt. I just assumed that the kid got nervous and took off. Did you call that fake punt?
Well, it got called, so.
Okay.
So we're at the point now that we're trying to get ourselves back to the point where we can compete with these guys. Which is a strange sensation, I guarantee.
I got you, man.
Yes.
Coach Pugh, respect what you've done. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Jay.
Best of luck, South Carolina State head football coach, Buddy Pugh. Right. See, all you got to do is just punt the ball. North Carolina Central, y'all want to talk to your coach? I mean, really? Well, you want to sign some autographs? My mic's still on? You want to sign some autographs before you come up here and do that?
We're good.
I can mess with you now.
Now we're good.
North Carolina Central, round of applause for your head coach, Jerry Mack. They didn't even catch. I said head coach Jerry Mack. Head coach Graham Leisman, congratulations on getting the job at North Carolina Central. What you got to say, man?
Great to be here. Excited about the season.
Hey, flag him right away. That's going to get you out of here real quick. Oh, he's exempt.
Thank you.
Too many fans.
Thank you.
But you got the job there, Central. What's your mindset going into it? You guys had tremendous success. Is it change it, raise the bar, keep the course steady like it's going? What are you thinking going into the season?
I think it's about a few things. I think it's about keeping things steady, also developing our young men off the field. We found that we took some steps back, maybe not pouring into those guys off the field as much as we should have. We made a purpose effort to do that, to develop them as young men. I purposely believe that by doing that, we'll see the results on the field and to keep continuity and keep our expectations high.
I'm going to let that slide. That's a little footballish. I'm going to let that slide so you get a chance to make it up on this question.
Sure.
How important is that game versus North Carolina A&T every year?
It's big. It's the biggest game on our schedule, bar none. biggest game on our schedule, and we look forward to it.
I thought you were going to say, it's just another football game that's next.
Absolutely not. I'd be
The
lying.
fans will tell you it's something different.
It is.
What have y'all been able to do? And I remember a couple years ago, when Coach Mack was here, I was like, how do you beat A&T? Oh, you outwork them, this and that. I said, it's that simple. But y'all have had that formula. 3 of the last 4 years, y'all have gotten them. How do y'all go about doing that?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that just you can't explain. We all know how rivalry games, you might as well throw the records and everything out the window. I think that game is about chemistry. It's about some things that you can't pinpoint, put a finger on. But many coaches this afternoon have spoken about preparation and just have a desire. We as coaches have got to think we do a good job of motivating our guys for that game, in addition to the hype that they feel going into it. And then the results kind of speak for themselves. Things take care of themselves after that.
Sounds good. But my football person to me, as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm saying, okay, Jerry Mack was an offensive guy. Quarterback, one of those guys, one of those young up-and-comers. He was an offensive guy. You've been a defensive guy. You've been a defensive coordinator. How do you keep the points flowing down there in Durham?
That's a great question. And so
I know I asked a question. It's a great question.
I think our administration saw something in continuity and the strength in the staff based on the success we've had, and that's why they promoted me. And we've maintained the majority of the staff members. I've got the greatest confidence in T.C. Taylor, our offensive coordinator and our assistant head coach. He called over 50% of the plays last year. We're within a Hails Mary throw of winning 8 games and possibly playing for another share of MEAC conference. So we're going to go forward with that effort. Believe in our guys, our coaching staff. The administration does as well. And that'll help lead to some success.
Yeah, I spoke to Devontae Reynolds earlier about that one. What was that like? Just to reset the situation. Central's on their way to being, undefeated, 1 loss in conference play. It's going to be another Aggie-Eagle showdown for the MEAC title to see who's going to the Celebration Bowl. Stop. You got the penalty first. And then Bethune-Cookman completed what they call a Hail Mary pass on you. And just like that, your season was gone. How do y'all recover from that?
Well, I think there was mistakes made leading up to those games. As a staff, we went back and we looked at some of the things. We behaved some ways, out of character that we had not done in previous seasons. I think we've made the attempts and have corrected that. And so going forward, it's going to be about, hey, we know that we belong on the stage. We know that we're a top premier team in the MEAC, which is great football, great brand of football. And we've got to correct those mistakes in order to play at that elite level and have the success we're used to.
Now to North Carolina Central. Y'all like your football coach? Give it up. Graham
Eagle
Willis,
Nation,
the head coach of North
the best
Carolina
fans.
Central.
Thank you all. Thank you for coming.
All right. Best of luck to you. Good to see you, Graham. North Carolina Central, make some noise. You know who could care less about that noise y'all making? This man right here. Give it up. Head coach of North Carolina A&T, Sam Washington.
He proud.
Great.
All right.
How's it feel, man?
Feel great.
Feel great?
Feel great.
Sam Washington is the head coach at A&T for years. He was the defensive coordinator for all those championship teams. I'll be quite honest. I have no idea why nobody in the conference or HBCU, MEAC, SWAC didn't come snatch you up earlier. I'm not letting you get the job at A&T. I mean, you've done a better job of shutting down every offense in this conference than anybody in the past, 7-8 years. But now you're the head coach.
How about that?
What's changes?
Nothing.
Man, get him right there. Man, get him back. You're gonna sit here and waste these people's time, my time.
I'm telling you the truth. We're gonna do what we do. We do chicken.
You do chicken.
We do chicken. Keep it simple.
I guess we should give them a little pass because when you're 14-0, you don't want nothing to change.
That's right.
However, change is gonna come one way or another. but you do chicken. That's a funny story. We were talking to him conference call. We're like, I'm looking at all these numbers. Like teams are averaging 65 yards a game rushing the ball against you. How is that possible? And they got there and said, well, we do chicken. Said,
Keep it simple.
What's chicken? He said, well, hey, you don't go to Popeyes or Bojangles asking for a hamburger. You go there asking for chicken. So when you're going to play us, you're going to get chicken.
That's it.
You're not going to run the ball.
That's
and,
it.
And the defense has stepped up, so I thought that was always unique. Your philosophy for winning. What you don't want to make a change, but what imprint is Sam Washington going to have on this program? We know Broadway's already done that. Now it's you. You're going to be judged. What's your imprint on Aggie football going to be?
Well, I think that's yet to be seen. honestly. What we will do, we'll play a physical brand of football. We're going to stop the run.
You gonna do that chicken?
Do that chicken. We're going to protect the football.
Okay.
And we're going to win the kicking game.
Now, I will tell you, I had an opportunity to talk to your quarterback before the game, Lamar Raynard. Lamar, where you at? Lamar Raynard, reigning offensive quarterback of the conference. He's here. So I thought he had an interesting take on it all, because you're a defensive guy.
That's
You're
right.
going to do your chicken.
That's right.
All right. But now you got to cheer for that offense. You got to do it. You got one of the best weapons in Bell, wide receiver, and you got Raynard. Broadway's going to keep that thing close to the vest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you right here in front of everybody, are you going to unleash Raynard and Bell on the rest of the conference?
Well, I hope the situation release Raynard. If the situation presents itself, don't you throw that flag. And then we'll do so. But again, what we will do is protect the football. And we'll play good, sound, solid football.
That's the way it's going to be done. And what's it meant for the university to make it, to win not only one but two Celebration Bowls? What's that meant for the A&T community as a whole?
It's been just fantastic. You know, the enrollment has increased drastically. Applications have increased drastically. It put us out there on a plateau, a platform that a lot of people just don't get the opportunity, you know, to present their brand. And fortunately, we have been able to.
And you'll be able to present your brand, opening week of the season. Y'all are going down there to take on Jacksonville State, one of the top 5 ranked teams in FCS football. What do you anticipate going down there? Why'd you take the game?
Well, we took the game because we think we're a pretty good football team as well. And nationally ranked this conference, the MEAC is prepared. Us and the conference itself is prepared for this day. It came, it's here, now it's time to deliver.
Gotcha. There it is. Head coach for North Carolina A&T. Let me get Aggie Pride on 3.
Here you go.
All right. Good to see you. Best of luck to you this upcoming season. Next up, head coach of the Bison, Mike London. Come on out here, Coach London. What's going on? Now, first thing you got to do, we got to let you in on the inside secret. First thing we got to do, and I was talking to Coach about this earlier. Help me out and validate this, right? So when I'm on TV, a lot of y'all sit there and tell me, you talk about Howard too much, right? You talk about Howard, all you do is pump up Howard. Some of y'all agree with that? Doing my job. But ironic thing is, when I go on campus at Howard, what does the Howard football team think about me?
Man, stalk to the hand. Yeah.
They think I don't give them no love.
Yeah.
So I'm in one of those no-win situations, but it's always good to be able to talk about HBCU football there. Coach London, opening game, you knock off UNLV. Tell everybody, one, don't lie to us now. Did you think you were going to go in there and win that game and pull off the greatest upset in the history of college football? And two, what were some of the benefits of winning such a big game?
Well, number one, you always think that you have an opportunity. I mean, every Saturday, or whether you're playing on Sundays, you always have an opportunity. And the mindset this year, the Mission Possible was the theme. And we started that from camp all the way throughout. And the first couple plays in the game, we knew that we had something going on here, because I guess they kind of expected it. It happens sometimes when an FBS opponent plays an FCS opponent. This is a gimme game. It's a cake. It's a walkover. And our guys just decided, no, we're going to play, and they did an excellent job in that particular game, and we just need to sustain some levels like that. After winning the game, it was a phenomenal feeling. On Sunday, back at Howard, the next day, the Reverend Jesse Jackson came and stuck his head in the office right there.
Really? Hear that, A&T? Jesse Jackson.
And, but the good thing about that was, he stuck his head in there, and then we started talking about the significance of not only the Howard win, but HBCU football, the significance of being validated in terms of our conference and the achievements and the coaches and the players. When we started talking, I got into my Reverend Jesse Jackson, like, Michael, keep hope alive, keep hope alive. But it was, and then he came to talk to the team the next day at practice. He talked about how the African American players had to enter to the back of the hotels and the motels and being the last to eat. So he put a perspective on HBCU football and how prideful it is to have the young men, the coaches, and the universities that we represent, that we can achieve, we can do things.
That's always what it's all about. Everybody wants to know, and they ask me all over the country, wherever I go, how'd you do it? How'd you do it so quickly? Howard had been non-contender in the conference for a while, and now you come around and you have success, and y'all were just one game away from going 8-3 and possibly going to the playoffs. How'd you do it?
You have a great coaching staff, and you have players, a guy like Kalen Newton and Brian Cook that are here, and just a complete overhaul of an attitude. Like I talk about mission possible, with him things are impossible. With man things are impossible. With him all things are possible. So from an academic standpoint, socially, what we do, how we do it, it's that approach. And then we demand the compliance to it. So we're energetic, we're passionate about what we do, and we celebrate even the small things, the successes of the players in the classroom all over the place. And so I'm a glass half filled guy, and because people can see what you don't have, we got to make sure we have enough of what we do have.
What would you tell those 5 new coaches we got coming into the conference? Because a year ago, that was you. What would you tell these 5 new coaches? What should they get ready for?
I'm a veteran. This is my second year, and I'm a veteran in the conference. But I tell you what, you look at the bios of the men at that table right there. They're as good as any conferences that are out there, and they all have their own styles. They represent the universities in a first-class manner. So you become. That's a prideful table, but it's also very humble because of the guys that you sit around and you look at and the accomplishments in their life and how our lives are lived out in the public view. So we talked about supporting one another, supporting each other, because it's important that the brand of MEAC, HBCU football, particularly the mantles that we have, that we take care of them.
Let me ask you a question. Make you.
Hall of Famer Willie Jeffrey.
I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna get you out your comfort zone real quick. Real quick, we're gonna leave there because I want to know. Now, this ain't the MC up here, so yes. So you're coaching Howard. You came to Howard after you were a coach at University of Virginia, then you were at University of Maryland, and everybody said, "Oh, he's only going to be there till the next job opened up." What should I tell him?
I have a son that's on our staff. My oldest son, is on my staff, and he has a chance to get a Howard degree. I have parents that live right across the water right there. I'm at the stage in my career that God has been good. I'm not chasing jobs for the sake of chasing jobs. I'm chasing men. I'm chasing young men and their opportunities. And so opportunity is at Howard, and I firmly believe you be where your feet are planted. I want to bloom where my feet are planted, and that's at HU.
Yes. My bad. So that being said, last question. You have Mission Possible 1.0. What do we expect from Howard University? I want to know, is Howard going to be a one-year wonder? They going back to, like Coach Jay and all of you say, oh, Howard again?
That was funny. The joke was funny, by the way, Coach. Well, actually, I was saying that, no, we have, of the 96 players that are on our team, 66 are freshmen and sophomores. So we're a young team that have guys that have played in big games, So it's one of those things that we're expecting big things.
I got you. And you brought your quarterback with you, Kalen Newton over there, quarterback for Howard. Appreciate you being there. Him and Ray Narr, that's going to be interesting to battle. And you got Stanley here. Y'all got some arms up in this room here. So
good players.
That'll be interesting to see.
Sure.
Best of luck to you. Head coach of the Bison, Mike London.
Right, thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Man, I feel like, y'all going to be in trouble. He ain't going nowhere. He's staying right there. Latrell Scott, head coach. Behold, green and gold. I might not have done that right, so, Coach, I'm going to let you do it.
Let me get you straight, Howard. Behold. Straight now?
All right.
All right, good.
I got you.
I didn't know if you and Mike were ever going to finish talking, so
Coach London, come on back up here. Good seeing you. I think Norfolk State football, first thing I think, you guys have been trending in the right direction. You guys lost a couple games that you shouldn't have lost, would have given you all that winning season you have. Norfolk State, what do you do to keep that upward trend going?
Well, we got to get out of our own way. first and foremost. I mean, hopefully, maturation helps. We've got 17 starters returning. Most starters we've ever had returning. We've only got 9 seniors, so we're still, relatively young, but we've got guys that have played in ball games. So we're not trying to figure out who we are personnel-wise for the first time in a long time.
So, and I think you really started to get a pulse of your team after, 3 or 4 years there. Do you have a pulse of this? You guys on the same page there?
Well, everybody there, I brought them there, so it's good to look around. And, the seniors in this year's class are the guys that we didn't redshirt when we first got there. So, when you look on the roster, you look in the meeting rooms, we're responsible for bringing all those guys there. So we know who they are and we know what we can get from them.
I got you. What's been your footprint like? I remember the days from Pete Adrian, it was defense only, offense couldn't even score 8 points. Right. They bring you in, you're an offensive guy coming in there. Have you found that mesh yet? I thought when they first hired you, I said, you bring an offensive guy, go along with defensive guys, it's going to be a good mesh. Haven't quite had the success you want. It hasn't been a failure, like I said, going the right way, but have you found that balance point yet?
I think we need to find consistency. There were games last year where we scored 45 points, games we scored 7, games that we didn't play well on defense, games we did play well on defense. So we've got to find a balance to make sure that we're scoring points and not giving up points, and that's what usually makes you win ball games.
I got you. That young man that wore them shoes, is he like that all the time?
All day, every day.
That's your representation for Norfolk State University, man.
Hey, if you can run like you can run, he can wear whatever he wants to wear.
I give him that. I give him a hard time about that. He can play. He is a go-getter. He's a go-getter. You got somebody that can deliver him the football on a regular, consistent basis.
We do. Juwan Carter started 8 games for us as a true freshman last year. Won the job after game 3. More touchdowns than interceptions. Won 2 state championships as a high school quarterback there in Richmond. So kid knows how to win. Played at Highland Springs with Marcus. So those guys have got a connection, and we're excited about him possibly being our starter for the next 3 years.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk to your fans. What do you want to tell the fans of Norfolk State football?
We owe you. We appreciate the support. The real Spartan fans are here. Okay, we got some of the others down the street that ain't real Spartan fans, but we owe you. We appreciate your support, and we're going to deliver for you this season.
Enough said. Trill Scott.
I see you.
Head coach of Norfolk State University. Round of applause for all of our coaches. So now y'all have heard from all the coaches. You've heard them give you some coach talk. You've heard them give you a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And we all know there's something specific that they want. When we talk about it, it all starts and it ends in Atlanta with the Celebration Bowl. So I'm curious. I'm probably going to get the answer here. Who y'all think is going to win the MEAC title this year? Who? A&T? I hear a little FAMU. Okay. Well, with that being said, before I let you know what the predicted order of finish is, you can also log on to www.meacsports.com, and you'll see this year's all preseason MEAC teams and the preseason players of the year who we have here in attendance. Devontae Reynolds and quarterback Raynard, stand up, give yourselves a round of applause. Preseason offensive and defensive player of the year. And with that being said, don't take it from me. Let's make it official. The preseason predicted order of finish for 2018 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference football.
The HBCU football season kicks off in Atlanta with the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Join the party this Labor Day weekend as the MEAC's North Carolina Central Eagles battle the SWAC's Prairie View A&M Panthers for conference.
The anticipation is high entering the 2018 MEAC football season. After a historic 2017 season, which featured a pair of FBS wins by Howard and North Carolina A&T State, as well as North Carolina A&T State finishing as an undefeated champion. This year's MEAC football slate will have a new look with the addition of 5 new head coaches.
Let me know that you about this. Put your money where your mouth is. Every single second counts enough to turn a little molehill into a mountain. Only got one agenda, only know one way. So you know it's dead real every time I open my mouth up and you hear me say, whatever it takes, that's what I'm used to. got no breaks, got no excuses. So many snakes, looking like Medusa. Cause second place, that's the first loser. That's the first loser. That's the first loser. Cause second place, that's the first loser. Whatever it takes, that's what I'm used to. Got no breaks, got no excuses.
Let's take a look at this year's MEAC predicted order of finish. Predicted to finish 10th are the Hornets of Delaware State University. Former DSU standout offensive lineman Rod Milstead returns to Dover as head coach and will inherit a young but experienced team looking to build on last season's record. Milstead will make his DSU debut on September 1st at the University of Buffalo. Led by new head coach Ernest Jones, the Morgan State Bears have been projected to finish 9th in this year's poll. 16 starters are back for the Bears, including the MEAC's top tackler for loss and linebacker Rico Kennedy. Morgan State kicks off the 2018 season at home on September 1st versus Towson in Part 2 of the Battle for Greater Baltimore. Third-year coach Eric Rayburn has Savannah State trending up as the Tigers have been predicted to finish 8th. Since arriving to Savannah in 2016, Coach Rayburn has posted the most wins at Savannah State in 9 years. Savannah State will have an experienced squad returning to the field this season as 16 starters are back. The season kicks off on August 30th as the Tigers will square off against the University of Alabama Birmingham. South Carolina State enters the season picked 7th in this year's MEAC poll. Guided by head coach Buddy Pugh, South Carolina State will be led by 14 returning starters, and to no surprise, a strong defensive unit, which finished the 2017 season ranked 2nd overall in the MEAC. The Bulldogs kick off the 2018 season on the road at Georgia Southern on September 1st. The Spartans of Norfolk State have been picked to finish 6th in this year's poll. Entering his 4th season in Sparta, head coach Latrell Scott returns 17 starters as the Spartans look to surpass last season's record. NSU opens the 2018 season at home against the Virginia State Trojans in the annual Labor Day Classic. Coming in at 5th place in this year's poll are the Rattlers of Florida A&M. The Rattlers will feature a new head coach this season, as well-respected offensive guru Willie Simmons will be tasked with restoring the Rattlers to their past glory. A total of 15 starters return for the Rattlers as the Simmons era begins on the highest of 7 hills, Saturday, September 1st, against Fort Valley State in the Jake Gaither Classic. The Bethune-Cookman Wildcats were predicted to finish 4th after posting a 7-4 record in 2017. 4th-year head coach Terry Sims and the staff welcome back 10 starters to Daytona Beach as the season begins with the John Merritt Classic on September 1st at Tennessee State. Selected to finish in 3rd place in this year's poll are the Eagles of North Carolina Central. The Eagles are under new leadership as Granville Eastman takes over with 10 returning starters. North Carolina Central opens the season in front of a national TV audience on ESPN2, as NCCU will face Prairie View A&M in the annual MEAC SWAC Challenge in Atlanta, Georgia. Coming off their best record in 5 seasons at 7-4, the Howard University Bison have been picked to finish 2nd in this year's preseason poll. Expectations are high in the Mecca as 2nd-year head coach Mike London returns to the field with 11 starters, including the reigning MEAC Freshman of the Year and quarterback Kalen Newton. The Bison open the season on September 1st at Ohio University. All eyes will be on North Carolina A&T State as the Aggies are predicted to defend their MEAC championship and return to the Celebration Bowl after posting a perfect 12-0 record last year. Led by former defensive coordinator and new head coach Sam Washington, the Aggies return a total of 13 starters on both sides of the ball, including the reigning MEAC Offensive Player of the Year and quarterback Lamar Raynard.
The season kicks off on August 25th against Jacksonville State in Montgomery, Alabama at the Guardian Credit Union FCS Kickoff, live on ESPN.
Once again, that is the 2018 MEAC predicted order of finish, as voted on by the conference's head football coaches and sports information directors. We would also like to congratulate the 2018 MEAC Preseason Offensive Player of the Year in Lamar Raynard of North Carolina A&T State, and the 2018 Preseason Defensive Player of the Year in Devontae Reynolds of North Carolina Central. To view the complete MEAC preseason teams, log on to www.meacsports.com. MEAC football. The tradition continues.
Whoa. I know what y'all think. I don't have a vote in that, so don't even look at me. Don't even look at me. Well, what do y'all think? Were they pretty accurate, those predictions? What do y'all think? I can hear the tension rising in the room. Not quite, not quite. Well, that being said, settle it on the field. We'll settle it on the field there. That's what it is. Let me bring on up my partner that's helped me MC here for this event. Coach Jeffries, always a pleasure. You took over the crowd like always. All right.
Enjoyed being with you, Jay.
All right. Good to see you. Give Coach Jeffries a round of applause. At this point in time, I want to bring up our commissioner. Innovative mind, does a fantastic job, brings everybody together. When I go around the country and you talk to other folks, they say y'all got a great commissioner up there for the MEAC, and he's coming up here with his fast walk, so he wants me to be quiet. Round of applause for the MEAC commissioner, Dennis Thomas. Thank you.
Let's give Coach Jeffries and Jay Walker another round of applause for doing an outstanding job today. I want to thank all of you for being here today, and thank you for supporting the MEAC, your institutions. It is absolutely critical that we do. I could not be comfortable with myself if I did not convey to you that we are about educating our student athletes. We are about them becoming productive citizens for our society and getting their college degrees. And that's the major reason why we are in business here. So we don't ever want to lose sight of that. In closing, I want all of you to continue to support not only your institutions, but support the MEAC and everything that we do. I wish all of you safe travels home. As you can see, we had another outstanding crowd here to support your institutions and the MEAC. We'll see you at the same time, same place next year. Have safe travels home.